What's going on, YouTube family? T.O. here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight to talk to you a little bit more about Lake of the Pines. I hope you guys are enjoying the lake breakdowns that we've been doing for that one. We've done one video so far on the Google Earth waypoints, and we're actually going to be able to finish it up tonight just doing two different videos for the Google Earth waypoints for Lake of the Pines. Lots of creek channels to go through and talk to you guys about, lots of laydowns, all kinds of good stuff. Stick around. I know you're going to like it. Here we go. Before we get started, just like we do on every video, let's first talk about the way that the file is actually structured here in Google. So over here on the left-hand side, what I do is I break this down by multiple different folders. So the different folders, basically you see them here. We've got offshore hotspots. So you can look over here to the right and see all the different offshore hotspots. Those offshore hotspots also include the next one, which is the Texas Park and Wildlife Fish Attractors. These are really good for you guys that crappie fish and things like that, but also you bass fishermen. You guys have heard me talk about it before. If the crappie are there, the bass are nearby. So you definitely don't want to overlook those. We've also got channels and ditches all over this lake. And this is really key, especially when you're fishing on these East Texas lakes, is to really understand where the creek channel is. It's really not just East Texas, it's any lake that you fish. But having these lakes that have these really defined creek channels is really awesome and really fun to fish around. So having these tracks that basically line perfectly for you the exact creek channel so you can fish just around the creek channel is huge. It's going to change the way you fish. So we're going to go over that stuff. We're also going to talk about laydowns that are out there, rocks, different types of rock formations, primary hotspots we want you guys to be fishing, all the different ramps that are located out there, cover and debris, and then finally ditches, ponds, roads, stuff like that to go over. So let's go ahead and pull this over and let's jump in. If you missed the last video, just don't worry. Just go out and look at the lake breakdown playlist. I'll also put a link up here at the top so you guys can go back to the video. But last time when we came out here on Lake of the Pines, we actually started over here on the right side, and we worked our way all the way up to the north side. We went up here. We talked about these creek channels that were up here. We talked about over here in the Medellin Creek or whatever it was, and then we stopped right here at this brush pile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right there where that brush is. And the first thing I'm going to do is go up here to the date, and I'm going to start drawing back this water until I get it to where I get a pretty good image. So I can see where the water's been drawn down a lot, and it's going to give me an image that's basically going to look a lot different than what we're seeing right here. So let's keep drawing it back. We're at 2015 right now. That's pretty good, right? That's probably not as good as we wanted. I think we can get it better. So let's go one more to 2014. And I believe when we get back in here, this is when it's really going to start opening up. So now we're here, July of 2013. Looks like it's going to be probably one of our best images. So we'll start there and we'll work our way down. Now, first thing I noticed before I even get a chance to talk to you guys is it just caught my eye. What the heck is this thing? So I'm not sure what that is, if that's a shadow or if that's just maybe the way the image is capturing that, but you might want to go check that out. That looks pretty interesting. Anyways, let's keep on going down here and let's talk about it. So we talked about the brush pile. First thing I see coming down this bank line, and we've talked about a lot on this lake, are just different laydowns. This one was an isolated laydown, so I went ahead and marked that one for you guys. We come down a little bit further into here, and we get back in here to this nice little flat, little cove with a good little flat here that actually has a decent ditch that comes all the way through it. So if I zoom in, you'll see it a little bit better, but you can see the channel that's been created right here, or ditch, or whatever you want to call it. I can't tell if this is a creek because the trees are hiding it, but it looks like definitely a ditch for sure that's here. And then as you come along this, you've also got a few laydowns that are right here in this little creek channel or ditch, whatever you want to call it. So definitely go check that out. There's also a boat ramp close by, so you can go fish that boat ramp as well. As you come down the bank line, just moving on down, you've got a couple more things down here. You've got another laydown. This looks like it could have been an old roadbed or something like that, but if you look right off the edge of it, there's some rock and there's some debris and stuff like that right in here. It almost looks like it could even be a little hump right there. So that section right in there could be a good section to go look. Now you want to be careful out here as well. Some of these lakes, I really hate it when we get into this, but you get into here and you realize that you got all these fence lines. So you got to be careful in here. There's some debris here. I don't know if this is a fence line or a tree line, but definitely a defined line. So You want to go fish around it because it is a defined line, but you also want to be careful with your boat. Make sure that you don't go in there and hit something with your boat. You got some more laydowns going on right in here as well. And then as we get here around the corner, we're going to slide a little bit further down. Next thing I noticed was right down here, just a couple laydowns right in this area, little pile of them. And you're going to see that a lot. And you can also come out here and fish these stumps. So if you find these stumps, like right here, come around and fish these stumps as well. Sometimes the stumps are just as good as the laydown, sometimes even better. So don't discard the stumps, definitely. So then moving on down a little bit further, there's some debris that was down here. This looks like it may have been like an old dock, maybe old dock pillars. Couldn't really tell what it was, but some vertical structure for you guys to go take a look at, or vertical cover, sorry, for you guys to go look at. And then also moving on down here, got some more laydowns down here. Lots of trees and things. You got to be careful, but these were some pretty significant laydowns that were down in this area. Now, as I move a little bit further back out, we're going to pretty much go down this bank line. I didn't see too much going on in here until I got right up here off this point. Let me show you guys where I'm at. So I'm about midway down the lake now, over here on the west side. There's a pretty decent little creek channel that's back in here, so you can see it. So I marked it for you guys. It's nothing crazy, but definitely looks like you might have some hydrilla and stuff in there, so that could be fun. And just staying in the middle of that creek channel and fishing around that, that's going to be your best bet. Then moving on down through here, got lots of activity going on down here. One, we've got a pretty good laydown that's right in here. This could be a brush pile too, something pretty significant. So I went ahead and marked it for you guys. There could even be a hump there. Notice how it gets a lot lighter, or kind of that brown color, kind of lets you know that there's something, pretty shallow in that area. As we move further back in here, we've got some really good creek channels to fish around. This one, lots of creek turns, creek bends, stuff like that. All kinds of good stuff to fish around there. Plus, it looks like you got some hydrilla, maybe some grass back in that area too. Some really good stuff. And then if we look a little bit further down here to the south, we've got kind of the same thing. So we've got another nice little creek channel that's right in here. Looks pretty good. Got a couple different little laydowns that are over here in this area. Let me zoom in and show these to you guys. They're just good little piles of laydowns. Now, I didn't mark this one because it was off the creek channel, but it wouldn't hurt to go out here and check this out too. That's a pretty good little pile. We got a good pile there and another one there. I like these that are in the middle of the creek channels. Those are really good. And the ones that are just right off the side. So I'd do like this one would be really good. You got a ditch coming through here. The laydowns are kind of right in that ditch, and then it's right on a creek bed. So some really good stuff going there. You got more laydowns. Moving up here, several different piles of laydowns. You see I marked them all here, just kind of scattered throughout. Those could be brush piles too, possibly. I just, the lake's not far enough down for me to see, but I can tell that there's something laying down in the water in that area. So definitely wanted to mark it for you guys. Moving further down here, we've got another ramp. So you can see here. Not much going on that one. That one looks like it may not get used as much as some of the other ones. So definitely go and check that one out when the water's up. You got a pretty good laydown right here off of this point. Moving further down, another really good laydown right there. That was a long one. And then if you get back in this pocket, just a couple different areas. You got one here, got a little pile of debris or something going on back in here, and then a laydown here. And I haven't shown you this on the video yet, but let's take a look at, say, like this right here that we just looked at. So we know we got a ramp here, we've got some laydowns, got that real good laydown right there, some good debris. But if we move this up from 2013 to 2021, if you go out there, it's going to look totally different to you than what you're seeing. So I just want to remind you guys that hey, what we're looking at is we're looking at when the water was drawn down the most on this lake that we can find in like the last 10, 15 years. And so when you go out there, don't get this mental image of what you're seeing here, because when you go out there, it's going to confuse you. So you definitely want to get the image and understand what you're seeing underneath the water, but just don't be confused when you go out there and think, man, that doesn't look anything like what we looked at on YouTube. So then moving on down here, we got some more debris. Going a little bit further down, didn't see too much off this point. I was hoping maybe we'd find some rock or debris or something fun to fish around off that point, but just not a lot there. Now, when we got back in here, though, it got a lot better. We've got a really good creek channel that you can see right coming through here. Make some good turns, good bends, all that kinds of good stuff. You've also got, If you move down here, you got a little culvert. So you got to be careful here with your prop that you don't hit something there. But then you got a couple laydowns, like a brush pile here, a laydown here, some rock, another little laydown right here on this bend. There's just a lot of good stuff that looks, it looks healthy back here. I would definitely go back in here and check this out. This looks like it could have some really good potential. As we move further up here, we're up at Copeland Creek boat ramp. Just marked that. There's a ramp in there somewhere. Just can't see it. It's probably right where I've marked this little, where I've marked that little cutout right there, where I thought it would look like a ditch. But that's probably the back side of that boat ramp. So you've got this really deep hole that's been created from all the backwash from the boats and things like that. And the fish like to collect up in those areas, especially if that's not a very active ramp. So definitely go and check that out and just fish all around the ramp that's there. You've also got additional debris that's out there and then a laydown that's not too far away as well. So as we move further up here, didn't see too much on this bank line, kind of a dud. Didn't see any rocks or anything around these points that really, got me excited. There were some laydowns out here, so don't discard it completely. You could fish out here around these laydowns, but I didn't see anything too crazy off that point. Now, when you get back in here, there is some debris back in here. I put rock there, and I don't know if there's a rock underneath that laydown or if that should actually say laydown. So go check that one out. And then as we move further up here, you'll start to see the land is changing here. We kind of went from grass to the rocks. So you've got a little bit of a transition area going on somewhere in here. So you could probably pick that up on your graph. And then as you move over here, you're getting into some really hard areas. So I marked this all as rock. You've also got laydowns over here. So good little pile of laydowns. Another laydown right there, not a pile, but just a laydown. And then moving up here, another decent little kind of pile of them. So you got 2 or 3 right in this area. Then I'm going to swing around this little cove or bay, whatever you want to call it. And right here, we've got an old boat ramp. So if I zoom in, you'll see it. Clearly not an active boat ramp. Nobody's in this area. So that is going to be a really good spot to look. The boat ramp's right there off the point. Definitely going to be submerged. So you're not, if you're out there fishing today, you're not even going to know there was a ramp there unless I told you. So definitely go there. I can see that being one of those really good spots. And it's kind of main lake too, so you don't have to go very far to be able to go out and fish it. All right, so I'm going to draw us back to 2013. Hopefully Spectrum can keep up with me here. And we're going to keep moving up a little bit further. When we get into this area, and sorry for the delay here, I think I clicked it too fast, and now it's having a tough time keeping up with me. But we get a little bit further up here, we get into some rock. So there's some rock right here off of this point. I'm going to draw this back one more. There's some rock right here. You can see it. And then some rock and like debris and stuff right here, just off these 2 little points that come off. So you definitely want to look at those. Take a look at these laydowns that are out here, especially if they're on the laydown pattern. That's going to be really good for you. And then as we move further up here, we get into some more stuff. And again, my internet is just going dog slow for some reason. But we've got some more laydowns that are right here. Some more right in here. And this, I really like this. These are the kind of spots that I like to find. It's off of a point. It stretches pretty far out here towards the main lake, and it's very defined. So it's just a big straight line of rocks, almost like an old rock wall that they put out there or something like that. So fish around that for sure. That's going to be a good place to go look. You've also got a bunch of laydowns right here by this little, I don't know if this is a power plant or what the heck it is, but right here around the buoys, you've got a lot of laydowns right here in this area. And if that's producing any type of current or anything like that, these could be really good spots to take a look at. All right, so some more laydowns on the other side of it as well. This whole bank line just kind of gets a little bit rough looking. You've got just laydowns kind of laid down in between all these little short stumps and stuff like that. Pretty good pile of laydowns right here as well. So I'm going to back out and show you guys where I'm at so we don't get lost here. I'm right here in this cove. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just try to finish this thing out tonight. Let's see if we can just kick out Lake of Pines in 2 videos here. That'd be cool. But I don't know if I can make it, but let's see if we can do it. I'll try to keep track of the time. If we get going too long, I'll cut it off. So again, more laydowns right here in this area. We've got some more laydowns just over in here. You can see just kind of random piles of them. Got a couple more right in there. Some more back in here. I didn't see too much that I could really mark for you guys back in here other than these just random laydowns that I find. But then again, back here, another decent little creek channel that comes back here and some good cover to fish around, things like that. So getting back in the backs of these things, can be really, really good, especially during certain times of the year. As we pull back out to the main lake, you get out here off this point, there's actually some rock off the tip of this point. So again, if I move that to 2021, that water's way up here, but that rock is pretty far out there. So definitely go out there and fish around that rock. Right now is the time to be doing that. It's December. You want to be out there closer towards main lake fishing the hard stuff. Now this was interesting. This looks like they built this new boat ramp when the water went down. So you definitely want to go check that one out. That one's built up pretty good and got some pretty good rock around it. Some more laydowns right in this area. As we swing around here, we've got a couple different points and quite a few different things that are out here. We've got some rock that's right over here off this point. You can tell it gets a little bit harder right in this area. Some laydowns, lots of laydowns all through here. And again, standing timber too. So you got those little roots or little stubbies that are out there. And then you've also got all these laydowns that are scattered in between them. So those could all be, really good patterns to run. Some more laydowns right in there as well. As we get further back into this cove, show you guys where I'm at again in this first little cut on the west side. So we get in here, of course, always talked about it before. I think you guys have heard me talk about it. These coves and pockets that face the northern side, especially if they have a creek channel in them, those are going to be really good coves to be fishing. And this one's probably, I don't see a creek channel. There could be a creek in here and I just can't see it. But this would be potentially a pretty good spawning area for them to go take a look at. So go up here and check that out. Fish around the laydowns that are back here. Fish in here. Also get back in here, in the springtime and stuff, and get up in these areas, all back in here as well. Got several laydowns for you guys to check out. And then most importantly, we've got that creek channel that's back here too. So again, I haven't mentioned it on the video yet, but if you want these waypoints, I've got them out there for you, simplisticfishing.com. Just go out there, check out the website. I've got about 45, 46 different lakes out there now. It includes the Google Earth waypoints, and it'll also include the offshore hotspots that we'll talk about in a future video. So moving on up here, we've got more laydowns. Again, just more laydowns. You're going to see me mark a lot of different laydowns. So again, I just marked the prime ones, the ones that look like they were either isolated or if they were off a point or something was special about them. I usually marked them. So you can see here. And then right here, I just marked check because I wasn't sure what this was, but I think this is the one that looks like a boat. But let me go back and look at it one more time. I don't know if this was it or not. I'm going to go to properties here. Nope, that wasn't it. But anyways, I wanted you to check this because it is interesting looking. I don't know what it is. It might not be anything, but anytime you see me hit check, I'm just saying, hey, check this. I don't know what it is, but it's something different in the area that I think you definitely need to go check out. So we're going to swing around the little island out here. I guess that's what you want to call it. Maybe you call it a point, a little bit of an island. But as you go in here, you've also got some debris right in here. And as I zoom in, it's getting even better. But you can see a real good debris pile going on right in that area. I could see that one being really good. Moving down here, we've also got the Texas Park and Wildlife brush piles, or maybe not brush piles. It could be PVC attractors too, but they're fish attractors. So you definitely want to go check these out, especially you crappie fishermen. We've got 3 right here in this area to go look at. And I'll zoom back so you can see where that's at. It's kind of right down this bank line. Should be able to locate them pretty easily on your finders and things. So let's keep moving down. We're making pretty good progress. We've got some more rock that's right here off of this point. More rock again right in this area. Just some shallow rock, not like big chunky rock or anything like that, but enough to where it should attract some fish. And another little pile that's right in here as well. You can see it. It's a little bit rougher just right in that area. It's a nice little isolated rock pile. Kind of goes out here as well. So that whole spot right in there, kind of a hard spot right off that point. As you move in here, get further back here, you've got a little ditch that comes through here. Actually, it's a little creek channel. You can see it winding through there, kind of lose it through the trees and then picked it up through here. So I marked that one for you guys. And then also all these different laydowns that are over here. Just a really good looking little area of laydowns, and maybe that, it's hard to tell, but maybe that creek channel swings right in here. So those laydowns could be right around that creek channel. So that's why I marked those. Those look like it could have some potential. Got another Texas Park and Wildlife fish attractor. And then as we swing back in here into this side, there wasn't a ton back up in this side until we got further back. And then finally we get in here, we start seeing the laydowns. You got a laydown here, one right there, one out here in the middle, one there. And then you got a really good little creek channel that winds back and through here. And you got some laydowns that are around those as well. And so I went ahead and marked the creek channel for you guys too. So again, good little area to come back, especially if you're in that, you're on that shallow bite. This whole area just looks really, really promising. So I'm going to move up here and we're going to go back down south. We're going to see the same thing here. I didn't see as much of a creek channel here. There's a little bitty one. You can kind of see it, but it's not that significant. But there are a lot of laydowns right here in this little pocket. So you can see here, I've marked each one of them for you guys. There's probably 5 or 6 different piles of laydowns just right there in that one spot. Then moving up here, got some more rocks you can see here. Mark that for you guys. Sand everywhere and maybe a little bit of hard surface here, but this is actually rock. You should be able to feel it if you're out there fishing. You should be able to see it on your graphs as well. Moving through here, you got another laydown, got a little private ramp, probably doesn't get used much. That'd be a good spot to check out. Some more debris up in here. And then there's a little ditch here. You can't hardly tell because my line's covering up, but a pretty significant little ditch that's hidden right in here. You guys have heard me talk about those ditches before. Sometimes they can be secret little honey holes. Moving up here, get off the point, got some rock off the point to check out. Over here, there's some really significant rock right in this area. So for sure want to go check that out. Then we're getting back here down by the campground. You've got some riprap and stuff right here along the bank line. You can see this. In fact, when we went down here, I think we did pretty good just fishing some square bills up against these rocks and having some success in that area. And then moving over here by the boat ramp, again, lots of riprap around the boat ramp, lots of riprap along the shoreline. But if you go just outside of the boat ramp, where most people are probably just going to zoom out and leave, you've got a pretty decent isolated rock pile right there outside of where that main boat ramp is. So go check that one out. Also, if you move just a little bit further to the south, you got the same thing again right over here, where it's more of a little isolated rock pile that they put out there that's fairly close to where you're putting in at. Then you get back in here, you get the other boat ramp. I think there's a boat ramp way back in here. There is. I totally forgot to mark it for you guys. There's a boat ramp right there, but you got a couple ditches that are in here. You could check out. This is pretty shallow. Also back in here, you've got some cover. I couldn't tell what this was, if it was a tire, a rock, or what it was. If I move that for you guys, you'll see what I'm talking about. You can tell there's something there, but very isolated. Not sure I would stop to fish that, but if I'm pounding that bank line for some reason, I might go check that out. And then right in here, got a couple different laydowns, nice little high spot. You can see them maybe being attracted to this spot right in here with some more debris right in this area. And then a nice little ditch that you can see right through here that looks pretty good. So then once we get out of there, we don't really see too much from a Google Earth standpoint until we swing around the point. We got some riprap around this point. This looks really good right in there. And then over here, again, you've got that riprap kind of protecting this park. So you got some more riprap up on the bank line right in that area. And then here we're getting out into, pretty close to the base, to the very end of the lake here. But you got some really good fish attractors, maybe not really good, but fish attractors that are out here. You got 4 of them. So 14, 15, 18, 17, they're all right here in this area. So you'll want to check that out. You want to check out the rocks that are off these points, the hard spots around these points. This one here looks interesting because you've got the point that's here, and then you got your rock that's a little bit further out. So if I move the lake up to 2021, I don't think you're going to realize that rock is actually out here. Here's your point, but your rock is actually out here. So if you're fishing that point, just make sure you back off of it and get far enough off to where you're actually fishing the rocks that are just probably that could be 30, 40 feet right there. It's hard to tell with Google Earth, but definitely fish those rocks in that area. Then we're going to move on down. We're getting close to the dam down here. This looks like maybe a potential pond. I don't know. I could see this being decent because it is a deeper spot in this whole entire area. So maybe they could collect back in here. I don't think I'd spend a ton of time back in here, but I wanted to let you guys know it does look like there's an old pond here. Kind of has a little drainage going in there. That could be what it is. It might not be what it is at all. And then over in here, we've also got some more cover that's over here, like a little brush pile or something. I couldn't tell what it was. And then off here, you got the fish attractor that's over there too. And then last, I got 3 things to show you right here. Just right here off this little area where they have these little camp out picnic areas and things like that, right by the swim area. There's a really good ditch that's right here. You can see it. So check out that ditch that's there. And then moving down here, you got another boat ramp that's over here. And finally, to finish off Lake of the Pines, we've got this riprap that's over here as well. I think we covered this stuff in the first one we did. We covered the riprap over here. So that pretty much wraps us up for Lake of the Pines from a Google Earth standpoint. I hope you guys are really enjoying this one. Man, I really love fishing this lake. I think you guys heard me talk about it before. Make sure to take a weekend and go out and check out this lake. I think this is definitely a gem out there in East Texas that doesn't get talked about much, and it is a blast to fish. So until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Make sure to go out, check out our site, simplisticfishing.com. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, do all those fun things. And most of all, have a good time out on the water. Until next time, guys, have a good one.